Ask you a few questions.
Yeah, of course.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Wolfgang is the only one who would know about that.
Me imagino.
What can you...
Hey,
What do you know about the voodoo murders
What murders?
in New Orleans?
Oh, I have not heard of them. I am sorry.
What do you know about the voodoo... What...
I told you, I know nothing about that.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I have never left Germany, Herr Knight. Perhaps someday you will tell me about it.
bueno.
What can you tell me about...
I have...
Do you know anything about snakes?
We do have snakes here in Germany, but I do not know much about them.
Do you know anything about snakes?
We do have snakes here in...
Vale.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I have never heard of such a day.
Creo que de esto no vas a ver nada.
What can you...
I have never heard of such a day.
No quiero yo hablar de esa fecha o de ese día.
Do you have any idea what Cabri sans Gare means?
That is not in a language I understand. So sorry.
Do you have any idea what Cabri sans Gare means?
That is not in...
Nada.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
That is something Wolfgang would know about, Herr Knight.
Nada de nada
Do
de
you know
nada.
anything about a secret voodoo?
That is something...
Do you know anything about animal masks?
That is...
Vale.
Do you know anything about bebés?
That is something...
Oh, siempre la misma respuesta.
Have you ever heard of Dambala?
That is...
Ajá.
Does the name Ogun Badakri mean anything to you?
That is...
Vaya por Dios.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
That is something...
Nada.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
Esto sobre algo.
As Wolfgang may have told you, Schattenjäger means shadow hunter. The Ritter family have always been Schattenjägers. It is a kind of priesthood, though not as restrictive as most.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
Each Schattenjäger passes on his knowledge to a younger man in the Ritter line when the time is right.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
I am sure Wolfgang meant for you to take his place someday as Schattenjäger.
Posiblemente.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
I am sure...
Pero que tiene que ver eso con que se haya ido.
Do you know anything about Ritter drums?
Is that some sort of music? I do not know much about music, but I like the Beatles.
Do you know anything about Ritter drums?
Nada. Sobre Wolfgang.
Tell me about Wolfgang.
What would you like to know?
¿Dónde crees que ha ido?
Where do you think Wolfgang went?
I don't know, but I have a feeling he has gone off to go be Schattenjäger again. He is too old for such chasing around. His heart is very weak. He has not left this castle for 5 years, and now this.
Adiós.
Do you know when he'll be back?
I only pray he will be back. Before he left, he said Schloss Ritter now belongs to Gabriel. It worried me so to hear him say that. I'm afraid Wolfgang knew he would never return.
What is Wolfgang like?
Wolfgang is a truly wise and good man, the best I have ever known. But his life has been so full of disappointments.
What kind of disappointments?
His only son died in infancy, so there was no one to carry on the family line. And the family's financial troubles have been hard on him. Wolfgang wanted to do so much for the world, but it was all he could do just to hold on to Schloss Ritter. He has not left his mark as he wished to.
What is your relationship with Wolfgang?
Herr Knight, my relationship with your uncle is really none of your business.
You're right, Gerde. I apologize. Forget I asked.
¿Por qué me da que era algo más que la sirvienta de Wolfgang?
Can you show me Wolfgang's library?
How do you know about his library?
When we talked on the phone, he said he was going to do some research in his library. I thought maybe if I saw what he was researching.
Ah, yeah. A good idea, Herr Knight, but I'm afraid I cannot show you the library.
Huh?
You see, I have never been in it. Only a Schattenjäger can enter the library.
Vaya.
I see.
Dime cualquier
Just
cosa.
tell me anything.
Wolfgang has dedicated his entire life to the role of Schattenjäger.
¿Más?
Just tell me.
He has not had a very happy life, but I have done my best to provide him with a little comfort.
Just
He thought he was the last of the Ritter line until he found out about you.
tell.
He knows the history of the Ritter family from many centuries past.
Just tell.
He's a good man, a strong man. I am fond of him.
Ya.
Just
Wolfgang has
tell.
He has not...
Just tell.
He thought he would...
Just
He knows...
Ju-
He's a good...
just.
Wolfgang...
Vale, nada más aquí.
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
As you like, Herr Knight.
Sobre la familia Ritter.
Tell me something about the Ritter family.
I can tell you what they say in the village. What I heard when I was small. To the villagers, the Ritters are a little... How do you say... tragic. To be pitied. They say that the Ritters were chosen by God to fight evil. But something happened. One of them was cursed, and so the Ritters lost the way. They struggle still, but like a lame dog, you see? Without the power or magic they once had.
Por el medallón.
Tell me something about the Ritter family.
There are legends of how powerful the family once was, of some of their mighty deeds, of the richness of the castle, and in turn Rittersberg itself. But at the end of the 17th century that all changed. Since then, the Ritters and Rittersberg have been in decline.
Tell me something about the Ritter family.
It is a troubled family, Herr Knight. That much I know.
Ya.
Tell me.
It is a...
Bueno, sobre Schloss. Schloss. Ah, vale.
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
No.
Schloss Ritter has stood for many centuries. No one knows how long. It was once the pride of Bavaria, but now it is in disrepair. Wolfgang received offers to open the castle for tourists. He has resisted though, even though the castle is in desperate need of repairs. To him, this ground is sacred.
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
The castle has many rooms and passages, Herr Knight. Most have been closed off and are decaying in the dark and damp.
Vaya.
Only a few rooms have been kept up due to the cost.
Didn't Wolfgang mention a library?
There is a library, but I've never been in it. There are places in the castle where only the master is allowed to go.
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
Schloss Ritter is the center from which the Schattenjägers have always gone out to battle the forces of evil.
Bueno, como la cueva con Batman, ¿no?
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
Schloss Ritter is the center.
Vale. Y sobre ti.
Tell me something about yourself.
I was born in Rittersberg, the village below the castle.
Tell me something.
I'm not well traveled, but Wolfgang has been kind and has tutored me in many subjects. It was from him I learned to speak English. He must have sensed you were coming, Herr Knight, and that you would have need of me.
¿De cuándo llevan juntos?
Tell me
Quiero
something
decir,
about
en el servicio.
yourself.
I'm very devoted to my position here, with Wolfgang.
Tell me something about yourself.
I love Rittersberg. No place on earth could be as beautiful.
Tell me something about yourself.
I was born in Rittersberg.
Tell me.
I'm not him.
Tell me.
I'm fair. I love Ritter.
Vale, nada más aquí. Bueno, Wolfgang sí habló de una biblioteca. ¿Pero dónde estará esa biblioteca? ¿Y qué habrá aquí? Me pregunto. Vaya. Parece una capilla.
Perhaps it's an illusion caused by the colored lights from the window. But this chapel gives Gabriel a sense of something truly mystical. There are pews on both sides of the center aisle. Candelabrum flank the altar. Perhaps it's an illusion. A plain wooden altar occupies the center of the chapel. A cushioned kneeler at the bottom indicates that the altar is a place of prayer. A magnificent stained glass window depicts the legendary battle between St. George and the dragon.
San Jorge y el dragón, ¿eh? Bonito.
Three panels hang from each side of the chapel. Gabriel cannot determine what their purpose might be. Three panels hang from each side.
Ah.
Three.
Bueno, supongo que podremos preguntarle a Gerde también.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
Esto... ¿qué pasa con los paneles de la capilla?
What can you tell me about those wall panels in the chapel?
The hangings? They describe the Schattenjäger initiation ceremony.
Oh,
Tell me about the Schattenjäger initiation ceremony.
Each young man of the Ritter line must go through the ceremony when he dedicates himself to be a Schattenjäger.
But what does the ceremony do?
I do not know, Herr Knight. The only people present are the old Schattenjäger and the new. But I think it must be similar to a priest's ordination or a wedding, a ceremony of intent and oath. Is there a problem, Herr Knight?
You said wedding. I'm okay now.
¿algo más?
Is there anything else you can tell me about that initiation ceremony?
I really do not know any more about it, Herr Knight.
Bueno. Así que tienen que ver con el rito de iniciación de los Schattenjägers. Entonces... es posible que nos podamos convertir en un Schattenjäger. Y así tener acceso a la biblioteca.
According to Gerde, the panels outline the Schattenjäger's initiation ceremony. The first panel shows hands and water. The second panel shows hair and a knife. The third panel shows a chalice on a table with ocean waves in the background. The fourth panel shows a knife and a few drops of blood. The fifth panel shows someone kneeling. The sixth panel shows a scroll.
Interesante. Volveremos sobre eso más tarde. Vamos a ver la habitación.